Greetings everyone. In this video I want to talk about source players who die in this game.
Greetings! This infinite source truth is made possible by the generous contributions and support of viewers like you. Please consider making a contribution now. Thank you.
First, I want to remind you that every source player has been living this same life script over and over and over again, with the opportunity of escaping the matrix each lifetime. So let's talk about the fact that each of these scripts is being lived out hundreds, maybe even thousands of times, maybe even hundreds of thousands of times, depending on the source player and how they allocated their scripts and their pieces. Realize that each person, each source player who is in this game right now, they have had all these other lifetimes to succeed at escaping the matrix. And if they're here right now, well, then they have not succeeded previously. And you must understand that children who are here right now have lived many, many lifetimes before. And if they're here, then they have been unsuccessful. They have grown into old age before, many, many, many times. Now, each and every source player that's in this game has failed numerous times before. So, when you become overly concerned, well, they didn't know. Well, they've had lifetimes and lifetime after lifetime after lifetime to know. And they have chose to ignore the inner nudging and pull to get them to wake up. And that's their choices, because they have become so, I'm going to say, rooted and grounded in the illusion of the matrix and the game, that they can't see or feel or choose to feel or question anything that's going on around them. They are fully immersed and they are believing everything at the expense of knowing themselves. Sometimes it can be painful to really know yourself when you realize all these character faults or leanings or desires that in the world of right or wrong are considered right or wrong, but if you changed your culture and your upbringing, those things might be perfectly normal or not. But the point is, if a young adult dies, if an older person dies, doesn't matter. If they as a source player die, they have had hundreds, thousands, in many cases hundreds of thousands of opportunities to win their game. And if they exit this game and they still haven't figured it out, well, it really is on them. It was choices that they made. You cannot save or rescue someone who doesn't want to be saved or rescued. And ultimately, it's the responsibility of the person who put themselves in that situation to start with to need to be saved or rescued. They made choices that put them there. You, as source, chose to enter this game. You see, source is neutral. It's just an experience. Source can never have anything taken away from it or changed, because source can't be changed. Source as a whole can never be changed. Nothing can be taken away, nothing can be added to. It is everything, it is all. We are source. We are the ones that are empowering this experience that we are experiencing, and we agreed before we came into it, and it was a risk sort of without risk. All right, because source can never be harmed in its state outside the matrix. And even here, harm is an illusion, but we take it very personal, and we have emotions, and we experience pain. And some of us have high pain thresholds, and others are very weak. And can you go from having a weak pain threshold to having a high pain threshold? Yes, you can. And it's a state of mind. It's a state of being. It's immaturity. It is entering the silence, having control over your mind and thoughts, being able to control your body, your thinking, and your experiencing. I could get into, just a whole lot of stuff came to my mind here, but I can't, I'm not going to get into how people can tend to mentally block painful experiences, or all different types of things. All things have to be, your now. Your now is what counts. Whenever you connect yourself to something that happened in the past that's painful, then you are splitting your bodies. You're not all here right now in your now, experiencing fully what you're experiencing in this now moment, in this now day. You've separated yourself off. And whenever you're separated like that, and you've split your bodies in different areas of the timeline, and you are not centered, you are not in a state where you can have true empowerment to be able to effectually, to be able to affect your now and your manifesting whenever your bodies are not in alignment. Now, I probably need to do a visual on that so you can maybe grasp better what I'm talking about. If you have a timeline and you're always living in the past, well, one of your bodies, either your subconscious body or your emotional body, has gone, or maybe several of your bodies have gone and attached themselves to that point in time where that event happened. All right? They've moved out of the now position, and they have moved into the past. When that happens, they're not all present in the now. And whenever you are not aligned, you have lost your empowerment because you've shifted bodies off, out of alignment. You're no longer centered. You're no longer in alignment. Now, you have to, with intent, go through sin and karma removal and forgive those that you perceive have ever done you any harm, and set yourself free from that, so then your body doesn't shift back there all the time, and get it in your now so you can make the best choices and experience your best life yet. Because as long as you're pulled and drawn back into the past over whatever, then, even regrets, then your bodies are not all in alignment in your now. You're surrendering your empowerment to that experience, that thing, because you're choosing to hold on to it. Now, that thing only happened at that point in time, and if you're holding on to it, then you're back there where that thing happened and not in your now. You must be whole and complete, all your bodies aligned, to experience the best in this game. And if you say you can't do it, well, then it's guaranteed you can't, because you are saying it, you can't do it. It's time to start believing that you can, and start empowering yourself with thoughts that you can, because you absolutely can. It takes strong will to make choices, sometimes even uncomfortable choices. If you want to be popular and you want to hang out with the crowd that's out carousing and drinking and eating meat and acting like fools, well, then you're weak-willed. Their opinion of you means far too much to you. In this game, as a source player, you can't be led by what people think of you, because they'll create you in their image instead of you being you, and making them all have their mouths drop in awe of what you are capable of as being an empowered source player. It's a choice. Do you want to fit in, or do you want to succeed? And if you think you have to fit in to succeed, well, that's a lie you're telling yourself. I guess it depends on what you want to succeed in, what you consider success. As a source player, your thought of success would be different than what the world would consider success. And you just need to evaluate that and come to terms with it, what you want to experience, and if it is something that is beneficial to you or not. It's all choices. And it's all having a strong will and mind to make choices that will benefit you in this game. And your choices will determine your experience. And whether you leave this game as a victor or defeated. But any way you leave, you're still source. Hard choices. Hard choices. But you can make the best ones for yourself in your journey. This is an individual game experience for each source player. Choices. It's a testing ground. Sharpen your skills and your abilities to manifest and create. Your abilities to have control over your avatar, control over your mind, control over your desires. Some of you do not know how to discipline your own body and say no to it. You give in to its every whim and desire. You have not trained yourself to have control over its appetites and desires. And in the long run, that will be a detriment to you. Choices. Choices. Control your thoughts, control your mind, control your game experience. It's quite simple, but it can be very challenging until you have trained yourself in it and it becomes second nature to you. And then it becomes much easier because you see things baiting you, you see things for what they are, and you're able to walk away, or you're able to not energize those things, those people, those situations in your life anymore. Making smart choices. You can do it. You absolutely can. And no one can do it for you because it's your game. It's your game. You are responsible for your game. Now, if you find the work that I've done within the Matrix and the information that I share and have shared to be of benefit to you, then it benefits you to say thank you with a gift via PayPal. The link is in the description box below. Abundance, health, and prosperity to you.